Hi go-getters, queens, and everyone in between. It's your girl Grace and welcome to my channel Gracefully. Before you get started, Locs, I want you to go ahead and watch this video. Even if you already have locks, I am pretty sure that you will find some great information. So before I get started on this video, I want you to go ahead, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, and let's get started. I know there are some of you out there that are considering getting starter locks and you're contemplating whether or not this is the best choice for you, but maybe you don't have enough information. So what I did was I reached out to some go-getters and queens that I know personally to ask them this question. What are 3 things, good or bad, that you wish you knew before getting starter locks? I hope these answers help you with your decision, and if you're watching and you already have locks, I'm hoping that the answers will be helpful to you as well. First, we're going to start with Javon from Richmond, Virginia. Her first comment is that she wishes that she knew how to maintain her own starter locks before getting them done. Now, being that Javon is only 2 months in the game, it happened during the time of quarantine, so it's not like she could just go to the shop and get it done. But the good thing is there are a lot of great YouTube channels that have tutorials. I actually did a tutorial not too long ago that you can find a wealth of information where you can possibly learn how to do your own locks. Javon also wishes that she knew that not all products are good products for your locks / dreadlocks. Some of them are drying, may cause flaking, and there's one thing that I realized is that not all products work for everyone. Someone else may find something very effective where it is just awful for somebody else. So you definitely want to find out the products that work well for your hair. Lastly, Javon wishes she knew that she can't wash her hair every week like a loose natural can. The thing is, when you are in the starter lock beginning phase, your hair can easily unravel. So you want to make sure you don't wash as much, especially that first time. There's some people that wait about 3 weeks to a month, some even more, before they wash their hair the first time. But as time goes along and as your hair begins to lock, you can actually wash your hair once a week if you want to, but your hair has to be locked because you definitely don't want your hair to unravel and then you have to start all over again. Next up, we have Cameron from Cumberland, Virginia, and she wants you to know that she is happy about the ease of maintenance when it comes to locks. Now, she loved being a loose natural, but she feels like having locks is much easier to maintain than being a loose natural. Cameron also stated that she loves styling her hair. However, she does not do it back to back because she does not want to damage her hair. With that said, styles are nice and they are beautiful, but they can also pull your hair and give a lot of strain to your roots. And the next thing you know, you might not have those edges that everybody wants to have. So definitely be careful with how much you put your hair up in these styles and how tight they are. The last thing Cameron stated is that she absolutely loves her loctician, and her advice would be to stay consistent with one who is knowledgeable of your hair, but will also educate you on how to take care of your hair. And I totally agree. That's why I'm always sticking with my boy Jeff. Next, I spoke with Meghan from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and she says she wishes she knew how much older her hair holds. Now, let me tell you, I can understand what she's talking about. You can just walk by somebody who may be smoking a cigarette, and it seems like you are a chain smoker or something because you will smell it all in your hair. Another thing she wishes she knew is how long it takes for her hair to dry. So basically I asked her, well, how long does it take? And she was like, all day. And that's because she air dries her hair. Now, with that said, I know a lot of people that air dry their hair and they don't have any problems, but there are some that say be careful when it comes to air drying your hair because there is a possibility that your hair will not dry all the way and it can cause mildew, especially if your hair is thicker. The last thing Meghan says she wishes she knew was how free she would feel having locks. So that's something definitely that is great that you can look forward to. I spoke with Melissa from Matthews County, Virginia. She's 4 years locked, and what she said was she wishes she knew to lock her hair earlier, and I can feel where she is coming from. The second thing Melissa wishes is that she did not fall into that relaxer trap so many years ago. And I know a lot of us know all about that creamy crack phase and how unhealthy it is for our hair. So that's definitely a thing that a lot of people with locks can relate to, and people with natural hair in general. The last thing Melissa wishes she knew before getting starter locks was how to lock in moisture. Now for me, I use rose water and oil, and a lot of people use different types of oils that work good for their hair. Now I use the rose water to moisturize my hair, but that oil is what seals in that moisture. If you're just putting oil alone, it will not have the same effect. Here we have Shay from Houston, Texas, who is 5.5 years locked, and she is a loctician. Now for her, she did not know how freeing it would be to have locks. She loves the convenience of it. She says she washes her hair in between her retwists, and she retwists her hair every 5 weeks. Another thing she said that she did not realize was the culture aspect of the lock community. There are some people that get locks for style and convenience, as she did, but there are also people that get locks for spiritual reasons. I mentioned that Shay is a loctician, but she is a stylist that does all types of styling. And what she said was now locks have been the most requested service. So obviously locks are popping. Next up, we have Duran, who lives in Richmond, Virginia, and he is 6 years locked. And what he says is he wishes he knew how hard it would be to find a consistent loctician. Now there are a few people I know in Richmond, Virginia who has said the same thing. Now for me, I haven't had a problem with a consistent loctician, but I have realized that they move around a lot. But if I like you, I'm gonna stick with you. Duran also wants you to know that new growth may thicken your locks and make it stand out amongst other locks, but try not to wait more than 3 or 4 months to get a retwist. Now I know some people who have waited that long, and they said that it was very painful when they got that retwist done. Another thing Duran realized is that having locks is a family. It's a brotherhood, a sisterhood, and I couldn't agree with him more. When I first got my starter locks, I used to get stopped by people left and right, and they would say, welcome to the lock community, welcome to the lock family. And even now, you know, they will just come up to you and tell you how much they love your locks and how much they appreciate your hair. So it's definitely a family. The lock community is a thing, a real thing. Next, we have Broderick from Houston, Texas. I know him as Brody. He has been locked for 8 years. And what he has learned is that your locks do not have to be perfect in order for them to be beautiful. And because of this, he takes pride in his hair and ownership in the way that he has shaped his hair, disregarding the opinions of other people. Now, he says that sometimes his locks still test his patience, but it is definitely a good thing. The second thing Brody said that he didn't realize was that people would have the sudden urge to pet his hair. Like, seriously, I did a question and answer video about this. Like, stop just touching people's hair without their permission. Like, ask, or just don't even do it at all. But at least ask first. Now, the last thing that Brody stated is the fact he does not like people who assume that his locks are fake or extensions. He finds it offensive because of all of the time and patience he put towards growing his locks. And I can definitely understand that. Now, there are people out there who feel like people who have lock extensions and etc. did not have a real lock journey. Now, for me, I'm not that type of person. I don't care how you started your locks. You do you. However, people are out there pretending that they went through a journey, that their hair is real, and that's what's not cool. Just be honest. If you got lock extensions, you got lock extensions. So I can understand that. Next, we have Keisha from Richmond, Virginia, who is 9 years locked. And Keisha says that it took her over 5 years to determine whether or not she wanted to go through the lock process. And she did this with a lot of thought as well as fasting and praying. Keisha wishes she would have started her hair professionally because in the front, the parts are smaller than the middle. So the middle of her hair is thicker than the front. So now she's thinking about possibly reconnecting or reparting her hair. Lastly, Keisha feels that her hair is healthy and flowing because she is the one that mainly takes care of her hair. Due to negative vibrations and energy, she does not allow too many people to touch her hair, let alone do her hair. So she absolutely loves her hair and she feels like her locks are a part of her. Up next, we have Kadeem, who lives in Houston, Texas, and she is 13 years locked. She says she loves her dreads and would not change it for anything. Kadeem says it is very easy for her to just get up and go, which seems like a main theme with a lot of people, where when you have locks, it's just low maintenance. Lastly, she likes the fact that she is all natural and loves every bit of it. She is at peace with her hair. Next, we have Sharda from Richmond, Virginia, who is a loctician who has been locked for 14 years. And this is actually her third lock journey. And what she says she wishes she knew before getting locks was that hair constantly compresses. So keep that in mind when you are coloring your hair and when you are deciding your size of your locks. Secondly, Sharda wishes she knew that hair grows much faster when it's locked as opposed to just letting it grow to a specific length. The last thing she wishes she knew was that there is more than one method to start your lock journey. For example, me, I started with comb coils. Some people started with two-hand twist, maybe interlocking. Some even started with braiding. So there are different methods to starting your lock journey, and depending on your hair texture could determine what method you want to start with. Last but not least, we have Alesia, who lives in Austin, Texas. She has been locked for 14 years, and she says her hair is now heavier than it's ever been because she does not use a lot of heat and she also does not use any chemicals in her hair. Alesia also stated that her hair has never been this long, but it's been achieved due to her locks. And she's actually cut her hair 5 times since she started her locks in 2006. She says the only downside to having locks is the fact that it is so heavy, especially when she is washing and retwisting her hair, that sometimes it can cause strain to her neck. And so she has been doing her hair for about 9 years since she moved to Austin, Texas. So that's one thing that I have heard from a few people stating that the longer their hair has grown, that they sometimes have a little bit of neck pain. Now that you've got the chance to listen to some amazing go-getters and queens experiences, I would like to share what I wish I knew before getting starter locks. So I am an actress, and once I got my starter locks, I did not get as many auditions. Now I would have still got locks, but I wish I would have known because I would have been a little bit more prepared for it. I also want to share with you something that I'm so glad I found out before getting my starter locks. Now there are some people that will tell you if your hair is long that you need to cut your hair in order for it to lock fast. That is not true. Now, if you have a relaxer in your hair and maybe your hair is damaged, that's another story. But if your hair is long, that does not determine whether or not your hair will lock fast enough. So I'm glad I did not cut my locks because my hair locked, I think it was about 7 months in. So yeah, do not listen. If someone is telling you to cut your hair because it's too long, it won't lock. No, find another loctician. The last thing I would say I didn't realize before getting locks, which I am very happy about, is that your hair does not shed a lot. So when I was a loose natural with my big fro and everything, when I would wash my hair would be everywhere. In the sink, if I washed in the shower, it was in the shower. And so now when I wash my hair with my locks, I barely see anything, if I see anything at all. So with that said, I hope everyone's experiences have helped you determine whether or not you want to get locks. And if you are watching this and you already have locks, I want you to go ahead into that comment section and let me know and let others know what you wish you knew before getting your starter locks. So as always, thank you so much for watching my channel. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And as always, remember, there is no such thing as a box. Let's go get it.